Hey there, legal fam. This is your favorite attorney, Josh, bringing you another video all about limited liability companies. All right, so in today's video, we're going to dive deep into the differences between member managed and manager managed limited liability companies, or what we call LLCs. I'm going to discuss the pros and cons of each type of LLC and outline what really sets them apart. All right, before we get too far, I want to give a quick disclaimer. While I am an attorney, I'm not necessarily going to be your attorney right now. So anything in this video is really for informational purposes only. I highly encourage that you seek out professional legal advice. As a quick reminder, I'm only licensed to practice law in Michigan, so anything I talk about, be sure to check your local state laws before doing anything. Great, let's get into it. So you've decided to start a new business, and immediately you're hit with a ton of new questions and decisions that you and your business partners need to make before you can really get rocking and rolling here, making all that money. So if there are at least two business partners starting this business, the first decision you really have to make is, look, what kind of business do I want to be? An LLC, corporation, partnership? Each of these come with their own set of pros and cons. And a lot of times you may hear that you may even need an S corporation or C corporation. Let's not worry about that for a moment, because those are what we call tax designations, and they're not important for legally protecting your company. So your business partners decide that you want to form a limited liability company, meets all of your needs. There's pass-through taxation, the business can adjust to the needs of the owners. Great. Before you do anything else, you'll have to decide whether the business should be a member managed LLC or what we call a manager managed LLC. This decision really isn't made with any state organization, but instead will be spelled out in the company's operating agreement, that legal contract between the owners that define how the business will run and how important decisions are going to be made. Let's take a look at each. Number one, member managed LLCs. In a member managed LLC, all members of the company have an equal say in the management and decision-making of the company. This means that everyone has an equal vote on important things like hiring and firing employees, making investments, entering into contracts, things of that nature. One of the big advantages of a member-managed LLC is that it allows for a more democratic decision-making process. All members are going to have a say in the direction of the company, which can really lead to better buy-in and commitment from everyone. The big advantage of the member-managed LLCs they're typically generally a lot simpler. They're less formal than these manager-managed LLCs. They don't require the same level of structure and documentation, which can save you guys a lot of time and a lot of money when you're looking to start your business. They're just quick and dirty. It's important to remember there's some disadvantages too. Number one is that a member-managed LLC can be more prone to disagreements and deadlocks, especially if the members don't agree on key decisions and there's an equal number of members. So this really happens when we see two members, each have a 50% vote, and they just can't decide on anything because they're deadlocked. Another big disadvantage of the member-managed LLC is that it can be less efficient than a manager-managed LLC. So since all the members are tied up in the day-to-day management, it can be harder to hold people accountable and to really delegate. When deciding whether a member-managed LLC is right for your company, it's important to consider the long-term goals here. For example, is the business just you, or are you looking to bring on additional business partners down the road? As a member-managed LLC, it can be really difficult to maintain control of the company as well as bring on new business owners as a member-managed LLC, right? Everybody has the same voting say. Also, it's important to consider if you're looking to be actively involved in the company or if you want to give someone else the reins to do the day-to-day work. Generally, a member-managed LLC is really ideal for a solo business owner or husband and wife who are looking to run their own business and basically just want to keep all that control in hand. Okay, so next up what we have is a manager-managed LLC. In these types of management situations, one or more managers are appointed to make decisions on behalf of the company. The managers have authority to basically make decisions without anybody having a say, but they're still held accountable because they can be removed by a vote of the members. Managers don't need to be company owners or located in the same state or country as the members. So obviously, the big advantage here is that a Manager Managed LLC allows for more efficient decision-making processes. Managers are able to focus in on the day-to-day management of the company, while members can focus on things like raising capital and developing new products, being in the business. Another big advantage is that your Manager Managed LLCs are generally more formal and structured. It can be beneficial for larger, more complex companies because it allows for better oversight and more accountability of the people running that company. Key benefit to your Manager Managed LLC is the ability to retain control of the company. This can be really important if there's more than two owners of that business and there are different classes of investors in the business. Managers of the business can basically be anyone, owners of the company or trusted individuals. So this can be really beneficial for foreigners looking to start a business in the US but can't be here physically, because managers can open up bank accounts, enter into vendor agreements, sign tax agreements, and tax returns. They can basically do anything. It's important to consider some of the disadvantages. Biggest one is that Manager Managed LLCs can be less democratic. Members might feel like they don't have as much control over the company's direction, which can lead to some members being dissatisfied, especially with a lot of your minority owners who want to stay involved in the business. Manager Managed LLCs can be more expensive to set up and maintain because they require more documentation, formal procedures. And these requirements typically play out in a more complicated operating agreement. When starting a new business, there's a lot for you to consider. One of those many decisions is whether you want to be a Member Managed LLC or a Manager Managed LLC. It's important to carefully consider the goals of your company and the needs of your members before deciding what type of LLC is right for you. All right, that's it for this episode, guys. If you found value and enjoyed this video, please go ahead, hit the notification and subscribe buttons so that you can get updated whenever I post a new video. As a newer channel, my goal here is to be posting every Thursday, obviously barring holidays. Also, if you found value out of this, tell your friends, let other people know. My goal here as an attorney is really to educate and advocate for you in starting your business. So go ahead, link, subscribe, and I will see you next week.